Howdy folks, Tex Grebner here with Tex Grebner Outdoors. Hope you guys are ready for your Tex Grebner Outdoors Saturday morning cartoon awesomeness. Because if anybody out there is still watching, it is Illinois Archery season 2020, week number 8. That's right, we are 8 weeks in to the slow descent into madness, the high stakes game of whack-a-mole that is Illinois Archery season 2020. Your favorite, or possibly least favorite, reality representation of traditional bow hunting. Speaking of which, I love how people used to yell at me that I should be shooting at deer when I was passing shots that I wasn't 110% on. And now, everybody seems to think that I can't shoot worth a shit. Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. And this is a dirty little secret of bow hunting. Target panic has killed more deer than good shooting. Because if you short draw, and you drop your bow and don't follow through, by God, you'll kill them every time. But if you got good form and you put your arrow right where you want it to be, you can't outrun a deer's reflexes. And they just drop. So that's reality. I don't have to be honest with you people, but I am. Because it's real hard to remember lies. And the truth is always the same. So hope you guys are going to enjoy this week's episode of Illinois Archery Season 2020. Even if by the time you're seeing it, it's already 2021. And I got bad news for you. Just because the year changed didn't mean things are going to get any better. This hunt was a bit of a comedy of errors, but at least the guns have stopped blazing. To start off with, I have misplaced my shooting glove, my good one that I'm most familiar with. That is, unless the wee folk of the forest, the Fae, have stolen it, as they are wont to do. To quote a great Irish writer, do I believe in fairies? No, but in spite of that, the wee folk vex me much. Now, of course, it was also a comedy of errors because I got climbed up in a different stand only to realize that as I was trying to set my camera mounts that I had forgotten to put on my camera shoes. So I had to climb down and go over to a stand that had tripod adapters on it, but it didn't really matter because nothing was moving anyway. The only thing I hate worse than 33 degrees and drizzling rain is 33 degrees and driving rain. Now the truth is, I pride myself on going out when other people would stay home. But since I'm being honest, it was driving rain yesterday in 33, so I didn't bother to go out. Now while I will go out when other people would stay home, it really is kind of a double-edged sword. You want to be in the stand. You want to be there in case a deer walks by. But if a deer walks by, you make a good shot, and the rain washes out the blood trail, it's kind of a shitty deal. So, the good news as well was that plenty of deer seem to have survived the gun season. The bad news was, nothing walked by me this morning. But at least I got a chance to get out there and go hunting. Thanksgiving morning, got up into this stand that I'd hung after dark and found out in the daylight once the sun come up that I was literally sitting right over top of the deer trail within like 3 yards from my stand. Great for spear hunting, but I can't spear hunt whitetail in Illinois. So once it became apparent nothing was going to be coming by, took down the stand, moved it up the hill, sat for a little while, went to Thanksgiving dinner, came back to a different stand. Didn't see a damn thing all day. Not on this property, not on the bordering properties, nothing. Now you can say, that's because I spit tobacco juice out of my stand, I pee in the woods, and I fidget too much. Well, guess what? How about this? I didn't see anything because receptive does are getting bred by bucks, and does that aren't in estrus, well, they're hiding from the bucks, and it was a 50-degree day. It's got nothing to do with me. Deer are deer, and they act like deer. Not everything that happens is your fault or my fault. Hell, that's why there has always been a god or a deity attached to the act of hunting, because it is so random, it is so chaotic, it is so capricious. If you guys want to interact with my crippling cybersocial anxiety, you can find me on Instagram at Tex Grebner Outdoors. And if you want to stay up to date on all things Tex Grebner Outdoors, in case YouTube decides it doesn't want to show you my videos in the subscription box, you can find a hot link at texgrebneroutdoors.com that'll send you right back here to my channel. We also have a merch store where you can make it weird, or if you're more successful than me, you can get a Kill with Sticks shirt. Now, if you guys are looking for a discount on all your trad live supplies, you can go to threeriversarcher.com and show your support for Tex Grebner Outdoors by using the code of Tex Grebner in your checkout, because you're probably going to be shopping there anyway. If you guys are in the market for some high-end ammunition between 30-06 all the way up to 505 Gibbs, or you're looking to take a 12 gauge and make it be able to kill a rhinoceros, check out my friends over at Aria Ballistic Engineering, because their Devastator line of slugs are pretty badass. There's so much druidic divination that goes into hunting. Trying to divine from the signs and auguries in the trail what the outcome of the hunt will be. Trying to read the correct path of destiny. Now I say druidic divination because pre-agriculture, game animals were deified, and the plants on which they fed, such as the oak tree, were deified and worshipped. Christianity and Judaism, the lamb, an agricultural domesticated animal, is deified to an extent. So, when you hunt, you are literally at the mercy of the animals and what they're going to do, which is why hunting is an act of nature worship when done in a certain way. And with that being said, you are trying to court the favor of the animals that you are at the mercy of. It's not uncommon in small plot whitetail hunting to basically have to set a stand on the property line, because that's where the old fence rows are, and that's where you're going to be able to get a tree that's big enough to hang a stand on in most cases. Plus, you're trying to intercept deer going somewhere to somewhere else. So, I used to have access to Mr. Crocker's timber, and then he built a house, and he didn't want people messing around in his backyard, which is fine. So, I lost access to it, and I am so blessed to have access to Miss Meredith's timber, because my family's property is basically crap. Now, with that being said, I got there this morning, and Mr. Crocker had hung a stand in the fence row facing his cornfield within whispering distance of my stand, facing my property that my family owns. So I figured, no sense in rubbing elbows. I was going to take down my stand off the catalpa tree, move it to a different part on the property, especially because it's a high-stakes game of whack-a-mole. I have absolutely no idea where the deer are going to be walking. I don't know where they are, I just know that they're somewhere. This is going to sound real bleak, but I feel that it's important to talk about. Hard work and dedication. You really got to understand the value of hard work, because the sad truth is, no matter how hard you work at something, you're never, ever going to be good enough. There's always going to be somebody better at it than you. There's always going to be somebody that can do it easier than you. But there's also going to be somebody that looks at you and thinks that son of a bitch makes it look easy. It's just the way of the world. So in the end, hard work doesn't really matter. dedication is doing the hard work, understanding, and not being naive about the fact that it doesn't matter. And you're still gonna do it anyway. Now I know that sounds bleak, but that is a real important lesson. Now it was a cold morning. Not quite as cold as it could be. It was a pretty beautiful morning though, with snow flurries, and the afternoon was pretty good too. At this point, I have no idea in the high stakes game of whack-a-mole where the deer are. Not a clue. But by God, I can go out to a stand and sit for hours knowing my chances of success. Knowing that. And I'll still go out. Well, it's been another heart-pounding episode of deer slaying with Tex Grebner Outdoors. Let me tell you, them animals don't stand a chance against me. Wile E. Coyote's my spirit animal, and it's a high-stakes game of whack-a-mole. You never know what's going to happen on a hunt. This could be the year that I break the whitetail curse. As always, God bless all my sportsmen of America. Join the NRA to protect our rights. So you got my friends over at threeriversarchery.com. Thank you very much to those of you involved in law enforcement, you good cops out there, and those of you serving in the military ready to die for freedom anywhere. And thanks for watching Tex Grebner Outdoors.